6:51 on day 28, and 6:51 and 45 degrees on day 28, and I'm gonna wake up. Good morning, folks. It's 8:41 on day 28, and I'm just leaving Roaring Fork Shelter. Definitely had a pretty good night there. Turned in relatively early. There was, I think, 4 or 5 people in the shelter itself, as well as a wonderful little Jack Russell Terrier named Texas. And then there was a guy in a tent and a guy called Grumpy Cat in a hammock, who I've actually camped with before. I was with him at Ice Water Spring, I think, so cool to see him again. Yeah, so slept well. There was no rain, but there was a lot of condensation inside my tent this morning. I guess I was just breathing wet, so I had to dry out the inside of the tent before I packed it up, just as best you can anyways. Today, as I said yesterday, I think today I'm going to try and make it to Hot Springs, which would be a decently long day, 17 or 18 miles or something like that. But, you know, if not, there is a shelter about 3 or 4 miles before Hot Springs, which I can take refuge there for the night, should I so choose. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards taking a zero in Hot Springs tomorrow. There was like a little bottle of insect repellent which opened up in one of my bags, so I want to rinse that out and dry that out, and kind of want to clean out the tent a little more and let the sleeping bag dry up. Body's feeling good, but Hot Springs is supposed to be a pretty cool town. I got word from my tramily who's up ahead that there's a pretty good brewery in town too, so we'll kind of take a look at the weather and take a look at how I feel. But if I do 18 today and get into Hot Springs tonight, I'm just not going to have enough time in one night to turn around some of the things I want to turn around and then get back on trail tomorrow. But anyways, today should be a good day with that 18 miles. So far it's just a blue sky, which is fun. We'll see how long that holds up for. But yeah, I forget if I said it's 47 degrees, but it definitely feels pretty chilly, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to walking so that I can warm up here. So I'll check in with you all a little later. Hey there, folks. It is 12 noon exactly on day 28, and I've reached the highest peak of the day. I'm on Bluff Mountain, which is 4680 high, so 4,680 feet high. It's a beautiful day. It's 64 degrees right now, and it's a bit of a special day today. So it's day 28. I'll have my health report coming up. But more importantly than that, I'm going to call this shirt yellow Instead of orange, I'm gonna lose my orange glasses and I'm gonna lose my orange hat. Today, today I get to consume this heavy bugger that I've been carrying for 4 days. Today's St. Patrick's Day, so definitely a pretty fancy day. I don't even know how far I am from the end of the day, but I think it's gonna be mostly downhill from here, which is a good thing. So I'm gonna sit back and enjoy my heritage. Yes, sir. All right, folks, good afternoon. It is 1:48, 64 degrees. It's actually warmed up a little bit as I've dropped in elevation. So two of the clouds come in. And I'm at mile 268, so I think I'm just about 6.5 miles or so from Hot Springs. But yeah, well, it's day 28, and as I kind of referenced earlier, that means it's time for the weekly health update. So kind of seems like it goes without saying, the biggest news of the week was that shin injury. I just saw a few comments on an earlier video asking if it was shin splints, which is not a condition, luckily, with which I am familiar. Certainly it's a term I've heard before. I know it's something that afflicts a lot of people, but I've never had such a diagnosis. Carrie, who I was hiking with up until I stopped, who's a physical therapist, after poking and massaging and things, kind of wound up suspecting that it might be a bone bruise just from the percussion of stepping, or particularly descending. So she kind of recommended that I stay in Pigeon Forge a few days, as I did, and ice it. She gave me some stretches to do, and also recommended ibuprofen, which I get the feeling doesn't come naturally to her. She seems like more of a stretch and massage type person rather than a pharmaceutical person, which is good. But yeah, so I've been doing that. I definitely rested it for a few days. I wound up taking an extra day above and beyond what I had originally planned. Wound up staying for 3 zeros in Pigeon Forge, which isn't the way I would have drafted the early goings of my AT hike, but you know, you gotta deal with it as it comes. So I did ice it, I rested it, I've been stretching a ton, and it is not 100%, but it's functional. It's functional, and really, that's about all I can ask. Yeah, that right leg, if anyone out there feels like donating a right leg for a leg transplant, that would be helpful. So but yeah, it is feeling a lot better. I think ibuprofen and stretching is helping a ton, and again, it's definitely keeping me moving. So by the end of today, this will have been my 3 consecutive longest mileage days that I've had, 3 or 4, I don't know, I'd have to check. But yeah, moving on from the shin, other health things. I also mentioned while I was in Pigeon Forge, I got new trekking poles, and I thought the reason why my old trekking poles weren't bothering my hands so much with respect to blisters and things over here was that I had developed an adequate callus to prevent against that, but apparently it was the lack of irritation was also owing in large part to the age of the straps, because apparently with these new trekking poles, which are again the same exact type as I used to have, I'm feeling that sort of blistering and stuff develop. So right hand has a pretty gnarly blood blister and left hand has the old-fashioned kind of blister, but you know, the Leukotape helps quite considerably to keep that in check. Where's the trail? Yeah, that's a small thing. Aside from that, I have been wearing my knee brace every single day on that right leg as well. You might have seen snippets of it in the videos. That seems to be helping quite a bit. Right knee isn't bothering me so much. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, sleeping good, eating good, drinking a lot of water. It's definitely warmed up the past few days, so pounding in snacks and electrolytes and, you know, keeping the darn thing moving. So, once this right shin hopefully kind of heals up or toughens up or whatever's going on with it kind of relents, feel pretty good about where I'm at. So yeah, there's our fourth health check-in of the hike, and we'll get back to hiking. Good afternoon, folks. 4:21 in the PM. 4:21 in the PM with the temperature 69 degrees. Goodness. It's kind of just started spitting rain periodically, but I am just getting off the AT in Hot Springs. Staying on the AT in Hot Springs, I guess. I'll check in with you all. I just turned off, but look who's here. It's fresh ground on day 28, day 29, whatever the heck. All right, afternoon, folks. It's 4:34. I left Laughing Heart Hostel. There's a little group of like 12 or so hikers up there, but the only space they have available is in the bunk room, and so I'm a little COVID shy about all that. There's a cool tree. So I found a spot over at I think it's called like Creekside Tavern and Inn or something like that, next to the river. Considerably more expensive than the hostel, but it's a private room anyway, so that should be good. The hikers are all going over to the diner here in town at 6 o'clock, which is again about an hour and a half from now, which works for me timing wise, so that I can kind of get cleaned up a little bit and come on back. But yeah, fresh ground, buddy. I was so excited to see that van, and I guess he's done cooking for the day, so it's really anyone's guess whether he'll be back at it tomorrow morning or the morning after or anything like that. I say tomorrow morning or the morning after. I have decided, if it's at all possible, that I'm gonna try and zero here. The place I'm staying tonight, though, does not have any rooms available tomorrow. So, alright. The place I'm staying at tonight does not have any rooms available tomorrow. So, we'll try and find something, make it work. But I guess Spring Creek with that patio over there across the street, that's my home for the night. I'll get back with y'all. Alrighty folks, 4:46, just got into my room at Spring Creek Tavern and Inn. I'm in room 2, so 80 bucks cash. Joe is the guy who's running the place. Very friendly dude. So here's the sort of main room. Really well appointed, looks very nice. And then there's a whole second bed in here. So that's pretty cool. I really regret that this room will not be available tomorrow, but you know, such is life. I'm gonna have to find someplace else to go tomorrow. But yeah, so the door is actually just right next to the door to the tavern downstairs. Oh look, there's even a little mini fridge. Door is right next to the tavern downstairs, and then you just kind of come up a flight of stairs. Looks like there's 3 rooms in here. 3 or 4 rooms or something. Yeah, I am going to go ahead and get cleaned up. I'm really excited about it. There is no laundry here. Apparently there's no laundry facilities anywhere in town, but someone outside said that I can check in with the Welcome Center, which is just across the street and next to the, across the street and across the creek from here. And there may be phone numbers for locals who are doing folks' laundry for them. So I'll get cleaned up and then I'll go check that out. So I'll check in with y'all later.
We'll put that in here. What do you think?
On the white or on the window?
It's up to you. I'm not picky.
Can I put it right here?
Anyway,
So we're getting ready to go to dinner, and I'm in Fresh Ground's van. Howdy, Fresh Ground.
Hey, you were in my van? How'd you get in here?
Yeah, yeah.
You better get out. Jump up front, White.
So it's kind of ironic. I haven't had any of Fresh Ground's food, but he's bringing me to dinner. So that's pretty exciting
Missed
anyway.
out on banana pancakes,
Well, we got room for
I know. Negative here said he's at Fresh Ground like every day.
No, today.
She'll ride with you too. We'll get her up here too.
We'll check back with you. This might be my latest recording time so far. It's 9:15, and I am turning in for the night over at the, what is it, Creek Tavern or something? Spring Creek Tavern and did wind up meeting up with the other crew for some dinner over at the diner in town. The other crew, I mean, like, let's see, there was Road Trip and Spotter, a whole bunch of folks, Bass, yeah, 7 or 8 folks. Margaritaville was there, a whole little crew. Got some dinner with them, did my laundry up at Laughing Heart Hostel, and then came on back here. That's where I am, basically. Yeah, 9:15, getting ready to turn in. Should be great. Today was a good day, 18 miles. There's a big old storm rolling in. Looks like it's going to be here pretty much all night and all day tomorrow. I'm really bummed that I can't just stay here tomorrow night as well. I'm a little nervous that pretty much every hiker within, 20 miles is looking at Hot Springs as a stopping point tomorrow night. So I'm going to have to be pretty diligent in trying to get a spot tomorrow morning, but for tomorrow night. But we'll figure that out tomorrow and hope for the best. So I guess worst case scenario, I'll just pitch up my tent for 10 bucks at Laughing Heart Hostel. But yeah, I'd rather be indoors just one more night if I can. So we'll try and make that happen. But that's it for today.